Okay, I need to have a window separate that I can access but not be on stream with it. I know what I'm looking for. Okay, looking a different way. Oh, it's gotta be here. It's not here. Is that crazy? Shoot. Oh wait, I think I found it. Yes, this is it. Okay. Oh man, I needed to find something for inspiration. And now that I have it, okay. Needed to know about that too. Yesterday I actually just purchased a new URL because, you know, purchasing URLs is kind of like a thing that I do. And I'm debating whether or not to make my Substack point to it. Haven't decided yet. Something I wanted to put here is this. Copy. Edit this. Let's do go back here. I kind of want an image to go here, and I think I know which one. I should have it somewhere. Where do I have that image? Where do I have it? This is it, yeah. Excellent. I was thinking of doing it like that, but I think that might be too much. So I'm just gonna do it like this. Yeah, update. I'm also thinking I might want to put something at the bottom of this window over here, because I've got such a black space there. So now if I click on this, then we've got this going. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so now the next step is, you know what, I think I will. I've never connected a Substack to a URL that's been owned before, but let me see what I can do. I need to log into my Bluehost first to do it. Because I wanted the URL just because I know that I'm gonna be branching out into multiple books, and eventually this Substack is just I don't know if I'm going to actually link it, like to go into the dashboard, into the settings, and then to custom domain. This, I don't think I'm going to do a custom domain, but I'm definitely just going to have the URL and a bunch of stuff. So I do not think I set up the site yet. I own like 15 domains, but not all of them are running. Like, let's see how many domains I have now. So a lot of them are going to expire, and I'm just going to get rid of them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 right now. And I'm about to create a new one. I'm gonna do I think this is my email address. Let me just confirm that. Oh, I have so many email accounts. Yep, that is my email address. Password, please. Yeah, you can save that password. I do not want any of this. I like to add my own stuff. So we're going to create beyondthewizard.com. Next. Let's just give it a second. Oh, is this still here? It is. And I was thinking I might actually make this the entire background of my screen. Oh, shoot. Sorry. You know what? Like that. Okay. What kind of website is this? No idea. Oh, I can skip this step. Okay, so all of this is now created. So now let's go where no one has gone before. And the first thing I'm gonna do I hate that it always gives me all of these themes that I'm never going to use. I like the Sinatra theme. I might actually just use that one. But I am going to delete these. Is currently displaying coming soon. Yeah, I'm not going to launch my site just yet. Oh, help me eyeballs. Okay, so there's a couple things I like to install. I think I'm actually going to want to do let's activate this. I'm going to need to get the thing from my other website. Oh no, wait. Go back to Jetpack for a second. I need to sign out and sign back in under my other account. I don't like to use multiple ones. Oh. Where is... Maybe it's over here. Oh my god, I hate how they hide where I can sign out. I'll find it, just give me a second. See right here. Okay, check my email. That's not right. Here we go. Oh, I'm glad I did that because okay, so Akismet is set up now. My site is connected. Excellent, excellent. Exactly what I wanted. Excellent, excellent. Oh, snap. My W-2s are here to do my taxes. Sweet Caroline. Oh, hey, Silent Willow. How long have you been here? Like 4 minutes? That's how much I've been paying attention. Sorry, I've been like trying to kind of semi set up this website. So I've been doing a reimagining of and you may know this because I think this was way back in the early days of me starting to stream on Twitch, long time ago. Someone else who was a illustrator on Twitch came up with this idea to marry a Twitch illustrator with a Twitch writer, and have the writer write something and then the illustrator illustrate something to go along with the story. And the first theme, I think, for the issue, or maybe I was a part of the second issue, I don't really remember, was a twist on fairy tales, and I did a twist on the Wizard of Oz. I did and my intention at the time was to go further with it. I was using this as like a jumping board for myself to come up with an idea, and here I am now, like 5, 6, 7 years later, and I'm thinking about expanding on it. So one of the things that I started last summer, or even before last summer, I don't really remember, was to see if other people wanted to read the first book with me. I'm gonna read all 14 or 15 or however many. There's actually, I think there's close to like 50 books currently in the series that have been carried on. I like that picture. Hold on. So I'm working on back then. I mean, the illustration is not to be crass or anything, but it wasn't a great illustration at the time. It was actually the person who decided to do the illustration for my short story was the person who created the whole idea of this magazine like 6, 7 years ago. I don't even remember his name, unfortunately, and I don't think I have it written down anywhere. I do have the illustration that went with my story, but it wasn't, it was just a very artistic piece. But all of that to say that now I am reading the story. I have no idea. You know how it is on Twitch. You start a project with someone, and then you lose touch or whatever. They just fall off the face of the earth, stop streaming, and then that's it, right? So that's basically what happened way back then. But I still have, obviously, my short story. I still have an idea on where I want to go with it. So this year I'm trying to do that week to week. Every week I'm reading. Oh God, Magnus. That was. I never really went to his streams, but I do remember the name Magnus, because wasn't that his Twitch name, I think? Something with Magnus in it. So I am working on, if I can find it, the breakdown. So I think this is where I'm going to continue today. As you can see, I've got quite, what I'm doing is I'm doing the original book on the left. So the gray is the original book, and then the green is where my story is going, separate and different from the original. And so I'm just going chapter by chapter. I've got some titles because I am going to use titles because the original book has a title for each chapter. But I do have some notes which will kind of change the order and direction that I came up with. So I'm going to actually create a Google Doc to write down all of my notes and ideas. I literally call it notes and ideas. No, you hear the dogs in the background. Dax is actually downstairs. I'm in my office. So you're hearing the dogs are whining because I have to keep them with me. At least, while I'm up here, they stay up here with me. What do you call it? I'm going to copy and paste my notes from my notepad. Oh, I hit the wrong. Oh, what am I doing? Let's do bullets. Okay, so I've got some ideas going, etc. I might need. Is this ready to go? So I have a subscriber list of almost 400 subscribers. And so what I am hoping to do is let them know that I'm writing a twist. Like, yes, the whole point of this is to read the actual story together, but I would like to share, once I start writing chapters and things worth sharing with them. So, but I'm giving them the opportunity to say if they want to read it or not. If they don't want to read it, I'll probably just share it on my own Substack. But if they do, then I will have an area that's going to be called Retelling of Oz. I think I might change it to something else. I just haven't come up with a better thing than that. But they would be able to come here, and then this is where I would put drop in my chapters. But this is a weird order. Why is this like this? And this shouldn't even be showing yet. This is the second book. Hold on. What did I do? Sections. Yeah, this should be hidden. Okay. So now if I come back here, okay, so it's gone. So, yeah. Probably just my newsletter Substack, just because that's where all of my actual subscribers are, because I've got almost 1,000, I think, subscribers to my actual like main newsletter. So I would just share it there, because the whole point of that newsletter is really to just share my short stories and what I write anyway. So you know, why not? And it took me a really long time to get that. So, and I didn't even meet my goal. My goal was to have over 1,000 subscribers. I kind of capped out at about 890 or something like that. Let me see how many I have. I can't show it on screen because it will. Because unfortunately the area that shows you the subscribers shows their email addresses, so I can't actually show it on screen. But let me see. I have 842 subscribers. And that was, I started on July, I think it was July 24th, 2021. No, they're not paid subscribers. They're free subscribers. I don't have a paid feature on Substack. It's just my newsletter. It goes out every month. Although I think I missed, unfortunately, the last 2 months just because I've been really busy. I think the last one I did was November. So I didn't send a December and I didn't send a January, but I will be sending out a February newsletter. Which is in like a week from now. So I need to work on writing that. But yeah. I wanted to have 1,000 subscribers. So what I might do is I might do what I did last year to grow my subscriber list, which is to do a what do you call it? a free, not a freebie, it's a magnet, a reader magnet, and then use that in Story Origin and or Book Funnel in order to grow my subscriber list. That's how I did it originally. So that's how I went from like 1 to literally like 700 in the matter of 3 months. Was doing that. That's the easiest and most efficient way to do it. So what I've been working on is there's a publication within the story of my twist, which is the Oz Gazette. And so I want to use the Oz Gazette as a means to share certain thread lines and storylines of the characters that I am going to be introducing in the stories themselves. So almost like vignettes, but not really. Just short stories that will read like articles in a newspaper about different happenings and goings on in the land of Oz. And so what I want to do is create like an actual like publication and make it look like it's a real publication. Why is this open? I don't know. And so in order to do that, I needed to go back to oh, interesting. To a publication that I've seen that is doing something similar to what I want to be doing. And so I'm going to borrow and take inspiration from. You have a newsletter? Why do you have a newsletter and I don't know about it? Explain that to me. Because I'm almost positive you're subscribed to my newsletter. I'm like almost positive. I usually have a list of what plugins I have connected or I need to have connected. So you have a newsletter, but you don't actually send it to anyone, or so you're not actually promoting it or anything. So technically, it's not a newsletter. It's not a newsletter until someone receives the news. Then it's a newsletter. Let's see. I really should. Oh yeah, shouldn't be doing it this way, but. Is it something that gets emailed or something that gets like sent through the actual like snail mail? It sounds like snail mail. You're talking about a booklet. Where is? Let me find my list because I know I have a list. Because whenever I set up a new website, I feel like I do it so often that I actually created a plugins list. Yep, here we go. Okay, so I got a Kismet. I don't need that. I don't need that one. Google Analytics I got. Health Check I got. I don't need that anymore. No, I don't need that. This is the one I need. I don't think I downloaded this one yet. Let's go back to featured and then we'll do search. Then a newsletter is very specific as to what it is. So a newsletter typically is something that you would send either weekly or monthly, and normally that would just be through email, and it would be a means to let your readers or fans know what you're working on, what's coming out, what's all those kinds of things. So it sounds like what you're doing is something a bit different, because by the time you send out whatever small booklet you're working on, ideally that news would be so old, you know. So the whole point of having a newsletter and updating it monthly is because you're constantly doing new things to report. But if you're able to put it in a booklet form, print it out, and then send it in snail mail, I mean, you can't get more old news than that. Okay, so I've got, I think, almost all of my plugins. Let me just check to make sure. I got all the WP ones, I think. Let me just confirm that I have all of the... What is this? Why did you jump me out of what I was doing? Jeez. I thought I set this up already. Oh, okay, there we go. Now it's set up. Okay, so let me just look at the WP ones here for a second. I sent you a visualization. Hold on. Oh wait, I'm gonna need to. Wait, I don't want to open it where people can see it. Hold on. Wait, this one. Yes, okay. So this is more like, I hate to use the word dossier, but this is more like it looks like a dossier on your actual story and less an update on what you're working on, if I'm understanding correctly. So it's not really a newsletter. Have you ever read my newsletters or looked at them? Let's see. WP statistics I don't have. Super Cash I do, and Optimize I do. Okay, let's get this one. And then I think we'll have them all. Because that would give you basically an idea on what it is. Like, one of the main things I think that helps people to write a newsletter however often they want to do it is to have certain sections. So divide your newsletter into sections. So the top portion, what I like to do is just talk candidly, and then I have like, what have I written in the last, what other posts have come out that may not have been sent via email, and then I'll have a section of like, what short fiction did I write in that time, and here's a convenient link to those. And then I might end with some of my favorite things or something that inspired me, a YouTube video, whatever, near the end. And then boom, that's it. That's my newsletter. Any relevant like social media links. And then every month, all I have to do is update each section as new things come up, and then that gives the reader an idea of what I've been doing in the last month, what I've been writing in the last month, what I've been working on in the last month. And then, in the future, my idea is to eventually include links on, like, here's an Amazon link on this book that I told you I've been working on for the last year. Now it's in print and you can now purchase it. Here's a link to the pre-order, whatever. But you want to have the readers come along on this journey with you as you're writing and as you're, doing these things, so you inform them of it. Okay, so now that I've got that, come on, install, done. Okay. Now I can start activating. What is this? No, some of these things they add and I did not ask for it, so let's delete it. So one of the things I would work on is getting a website. You don't need to have social media these days, especially because a lot of the social media apps that people used to rely on are pretty much going by the wayside. So you have to sort of think outside the box these days. I know I am, that I'm no longer relying on like things like Twitter or Facebook or Instagram to let people know who I am and that I exist. Something like a Substack is really pretty remarkable on letting people know that you exist and that you're writing, just because proof positive being my Wizard of Oz, reimagining and me starting this Substack on Substack. I never promoted it. I never told anyone about it. I did absolutely zero because I was so busy. I adopted a son as of last summer, so it was like literally maybe a few weeks before that I set this whole thing up, and then I literally forgot about it until 2 weeks ago. And in those 6 months, without me doing a thing, Substack managed to find and, through their algorithms, close to 400 subscribers without me needing to do anything. And I didn't even post anything either, which is even more remarkable. I only did I think I had like 2 posts. If I look, how many posts do I like in total? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So last year I did 2 posts. One to introduce what I was doing, which was in June, and then a second one, which was so I only did 2 posts last year, and in that 6 months I got 300 plus subscribers. And now I'm at 370 something. I'm not at 371 anymore. I've actually grown. I'm almost at 380 right now. And that's, again, I continue to do zero promotion for myself. I'm not sharing my link on Twitter. I'm not doing anything. I am simply, I'm literally doing nothing. And Substack has an algorithm which I would say works out pretty well. I was thinking to make this a monthly 20 to 25. I mean, how much does that cost? I'm assuming whatever this is that you're planning on doing, you will be charging for it. Like, this is a paid subscription, because there's no way you're doing this out of pocket and essentially throwing money away to send this newspaper to people, and expecting anyone to pay for something through the mail like a publication is a pretty tall ask. I will say, coming from experience, because I had Storyzine, and I still own the rights to Storyzine. It's not easy to do. That's what I'm saying. I think one of the places where you need to start is something like Substack. You need to have a portfolio, and you need to have something that people can look at visually on a computer, most definitely, to know that it's worth their 2 cents to receive this thing through the mail, because you're not only asking people to pay you a subscription fee, but you're also going to be asking them to give you their address, which is a very personal ask. I mean, I've never done anything where I've needed a person's address to send them something through the mail. The easiest way to make a buck is to charge people for something that does not include that kind of personal knowledge of them, because you're less likely to get someone to pay you for something on a monthly basis, but you're even more less likely to then say, not only do you have to pay me, but you need to trust that I'm going to take your address and send you something. But yeah, like, I would really, really, really look into doing a Substack and having some, because you can't say, pay me a subscription to get this thing, and someone's gonna Google you or look you up and say, well, what have you done lately? What have you written lately? How do I know I'm gonna like what you do, what you write, what you're about, if there's no place for me to find you to get that sort of information. So first would be to, you know, start a, and you don't even have to promote yourself. Like I was saying, you do not have to promote yourself with Substack. All you have to do with Substack is write and post it. And I guarantee you within 6 months, you will at least have 100 subscribers. And you will start asking yourself, like, where did these people come from? How did they find me? You don't have to worry about it. All you have to do is write. If you write, you know, high fantasy, share your behind the scenes stuff. If you, whatever it is that you do, you just need to write it and let Substack do the rest. Correct. The subs are free. And you don't have to pay. Like, it's not like MailChimp where they say, well, the first 1,000 people who subscribe to you is free, but after that, you have to pay us in order for us to house these. No. You can have 1 million subscribers and you never pay Substack a dime to have these subscribers on your email list. It costs you nothing. The only time it costs you something is when you turn on their paid feature, and it's literally like, what do they charge? I want to say like 7%. Like it's almost nothing. It's not even worth. It's basically the best in town in terms of what they charge you. So let me check. Settings. Where is it? Oh, payments. Durr. Okay, so you get to set whatever you want to set. And they've changed how they do it a lot too, because if you're in our Discord, the Substack Discord, there are people who work at Substack who are there. So whenever there's a feature that we want that someone else does, we will let them know, and then they will eventually get to it. Like, one of the things that they added is that you can paywall your archive. So you can say, like, after I publish something 2 weeks later, I want you to paywall it. Or the opposite, say, you know, I want to post something for a paywall, and then after 2 weeks release it so that everyone can read it. And that way you can have sort of like a Patreon situation where your Patreons get something a month early. So if you become a patron and you pay the monthly subscription or the yearly subscription, you will get this a month ahead of everybody else, and then everybody else has to wait a month before they get to read your next thing. You can put whatever you want, like literally whatever you want. You know, I'm putting whatever I want. You could put short fiction. You could do chapter by chapter. You can write and release a chapter every day. Is what a real thing? Let's see. Okay, so Substack takes 10%, and then there's whatever fee is charged by Stripe. Stripe is the company. Oh, of course, there are people who do that. I mean, that's what Patreon is. If you've ever used Patreon, the whole point of, and how a lot of writers use Patreon is they will be someone who's working on a novel, right? Let's say you're working on a novel. It's going to be like 100 chapters, whatever, 10 chapters. What you do is you open up a Patreon and you say, if you become a patron at the $5 a month level, you will get every chapter every week. And then those who aren't patrons will get that chapter, but 2 weeks later, a week later, a month later, 2 months later, whatever. And then when you put the post out, you put that that instruction in the post that says, make this post free for everyone after 30 days, after 90 days. And yes, but the only way people will do that, Silent Willow, like I cannot stress this enough, is if and only if you already have things and content for free that they can read. No one is going to pay you for your work without being able to see your work in advance. So you need to put your short stories out there. If you've got a novel already, put the whole thing out there for free. Let them read it, because I'm telling you right now, no one but your best friend and your mama is going to pay you money every month without knowing if they like what they see. Yes, Patreon was the first ones to do it and everyone else follows. So that's why Substack does it now, is because we went to Substack and said, you need to allow us to have a post go up behind a paywall, and then after a set number of weeks or days or months, make that same post free for everyone else to read. And so now, and I will show this because it's not showing anything that I don't want people to see. So now right here it says you can set an archive date. So there are certain days that you can set. If you do a post, you can say like, make this, and I can't show it to you on the other one because I don't have paid subscriptions open for Beyond the Wizard, but I can set it to say at this time, like a month later or 2 weeks later. I believe I can do that. Let me see if I do a new post. I haven't done one in so long. Let me go to settings. So if I make this, for paid subscribers only, I can, where is it? There's a setting here somewhere. Oh, is it in the thing where I post? Hold on, where is the post thing? Oh, you know what? It's because I don't have anything here. Where's the thing for me to... delete post? How can I delete a post I haven't posted yet? Am I bugging out? Hold on, now I gotta see. I haven't used Substack in so long. Okay, so down here is where you would tell it basically when to publish it, when to make it free, all of that jazz. And that all of those features open up once you go in there and you say like, this is only for paid, but then after a set amount of time, make it free, whatever. And yes, Patreon, like I said, works the same way. I have not used Patreon in forever, but essentially when you create a post, it's got a bit more features to it in Patreon because you can have tiers. In Substack, there's literally 2 tiers. There's a monthly tier, and then actually there's technically 3. There's a monthly tier, there's a an annual tier, so you could pay every year a certain amount. And then there's what they call like a legacy tier, which is technically an annual tier, but it's for someone who might want to pay you a way more than what you're charging every year. So, so there's 3 tiers, but here you actually can set however many tiers you want at any level you want. So I have a 3, a 5, and a 10. You can do like 5, 10, 15. There are some people who have a tier that's $1 million. It's something stupid. You can literally put whatever you want. And then what you do is in Patreon, they have this thing called early access. So basically, you write the post, it's only for this tier. Like, let's say only people who pay like $5 and $10. So you would uncheck this one. So anyone who pays $3 a month wouldn't get this. They'd have to wait for it to become free. And then you would post it, and then you would change it and say, okay, in a month from now, so I'm going to change this to be on February 25th at such and such time. I'll add a text preview if I want, and then I'll publish it. So this thing that everyone who paid me $5 and $10, they will get it today, but then everybody else will get to see this post a month later for free. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to do basically two different posts, right? You'd have to do one post that's just the text, and then you would do another post that you could say patrons only. If you don't want to select the tier, if you're like, well, any tier, anyone who pays me any amount is going to get to see this version, you could just do patrons only, turn off early access, and then you would send it, and only the people who pay you would see it. But yeah, Patreon's had that since they've existed. Like that's nothing new. But Patreon does not have what Substack has, which is the ability to, with their algorithm, have people subscribe to you. For Patreon, you got to do all the legwork. You've got to find the people. You've got to give them the link. You've got to get them to click the link and do all that stuff. With Substack, they find the people for you. They've got an algorithm that works. And I'm proof positive that it works. So unless you're ready, willing, and able to go on the social media sites and, you know, to pay advertising fees or whatever the heck you want to do, however you want to do it, you know, that's up to you. I'm not going to do that. So I would use Patreon as a secondary way in the back sort of thing. Like, you can link to it. I believe I link to it. I mean, I link to my Patreon on everything, right? My Twitch has my Patreon link. My Twitter has my Patreon link. I believe my Substack has my Patreon link. I'd have to check because I haven't checked in a long time. No, it doesn't. But right here where it says Let's Connect, I can add a Patreon link and then just put Patreon, and then boom, you can, or I could even, oh, my Patreon's up here actually. That's why it's not down there. I actually have it up here. So when you click here, it takes you to my Patreon page. I forgot that I put it up there. So you can put it in multiple places on your Substack, you know, if you want to. But I wouldn't use that as my means of communication. I would use Substack as my means of communication, and then either turn on the paid feature within Substack itself, just because you don't want people ever to click away from something. You want them to stay right where they are. So the worst thing you could do is have people come here and then say, okay, now go over there to do this thing. Like, if you're going to have them come here, then they need to come here and stay here and find everything they need here. And then, you know, you can also, if you don't want to turn on the Substack paid feature, you can say, you know, if you want to support me monetarily, then, you know, please go to my Patreon, and then people can go to Patreon and, you know, become a patron. However, again, I will stress, with Patreon, they charge more. So you actually will get more bang for your buck that anyone gives you on Substack. If you want to talk about, you know, I believe Patreon, unless you're a legacy user, which they stopped legacy users as of like a year or two ago. I think actually it might have even been longer than that. It might have been 2019. But unless you are a legacy user, they charge, I don't know, 25% on top of the whatever fees. So you would do better to stay or to use Substack right now. There is no reason to use, I would never in a million years say to use MailChimp. I would never use Patreon anymore. Like, there's no reason to do anything other than have a website for yourself and then have a Substack. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. And unfortunately, I have to rebuild my website from the ground up because it got corrupted, and I didn't know it because I've been so busy. So my website right now has literally, there's nothing. There's like all of my blog posts, I've got nothing. I did not do my, like, everything is gone. So I have to start from the ground up, and I don't even really remember what my website looked like. So I'm starting with a blank slate. I don't even think my about page, yeah, my about page is the generic thing. It's unfortunate, but I've been so busy I didn't realize that my site crashed and burned and I could not get into it. So I had to get rid of the whole thing, and yeah, my website into my, I mean, I the only thing I have is, like, I have my website here. Like, it's just, you can go to my YouTube channel, my website, or my Twitter. Um, but otherwise, you have to think of everything as a connection web. So technically, before, my website used to be the center, and then I would link people to other places. But now what I've done is Substack is my center, and it will link people to other things that I have. So if you think of what is your center, is it your website? Some people's center is their link tree. And I have a link tree just because it's very helpful to have one. Because with Linktree, if Linktree is your center, then Linktree will send people to all the different places that they can go. So my Linktree is, you could go to my website, you can sign up for my newsletter, you can check out my podcast, my writing stream. It's got all of my social media up here: Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. It's all here in one link. And a lot of times I will just put this anywhere. Like, if you go to my Twitter, this is the link that you click on, and then from here you can decide where you want to go. And then each subsequent place has a way for you to get back to where you've been. So if you come to my Substack, if you find my Substack, you can easily get back to my Twitter, or you can get to my website, or you can get to my YouTube channel. If you came from my YouTube channel, it has a link to my link tree. So everything circles right back to where you came from, or where you've been, or whatever. They all connect, and it's just a matter of just putting the link there. Like, it's not rocket science. It's not anything like fancy that you're supposed to do. Like, you literally just put the link right back so that people can just get back to it. And my website is really just, I think of it as a portfolio. It is the place that I would send anyone to look at my backlog. I don't have a backlog in Substack. There's no way to have a backlog on Twitter or a social media site. So where would I send someone if I want them to know if they're going to like what I write? My website. Unfortunately, I can't right now because I have to put all that stuff back. But eventually, I am going to put all of my short fiction back on my website. I'm going to put all of everything that I've written in the last decade is going to go back into my website, so that anytime someone wants to pay a monthly subscription on my Substack or my Patreon, they're always going to say, well, what has she written lately? And I'm going to have a way for them to go to my website and see, here's all my short stories that are free for you to read. Please read them. And if you like them, boom, pay me. And then once they do, they will get access to things that I don't have up for free. And that's how it works. Like, you need to give them something. If you have nothing to show, don't ask people for money. You should never ask people for money first. What you should do is give first, and then let them be the ones to say, if I wanted to, help you out or support you, what could I do? You can buy my Amazon book. You can become a patron. You can, subscribe to my Substack newsletter. You can do all of these things. But if you come first to say, I've got something to say, I've written a story, and you need to pay me to read it, you're not going to get any subscribers. Enable the cache compatibility option in the settings page. Yes, I know that. Enable GeoIP. I wish they would just do this. The next thing I'm going to need to do is set up the Google stuff. Also, whenever you create a website, you need to set up the Google stuff. I don't know how else to put it, but it's the Google Analytics, Google Search Console. Like, I try to do that immediately because you don't want to miss any of the analytics by waiting too long. So you need to set this up right away. Alright, now I have to verify that I own the site. And what this basically does is it allows you to look at the history of your website to find out how did people get to it. Did they search for you in Google? And if they did, what search terms did they use? Did they get to it from a Substack link? If you want to know how did someone get to your website and how long they stayed on your website, a couple seconds, a couple minutes, this is how to do it. Google tracks all of this for you in the back end, so you're not trying to figure out. Wow, that was actually the easiest Google Analytics setup I've ever done before in my life. It is done for every page within your website. See, so I have a property for like everything. I've got a property for my Substack. I even have a property for my Medium, even though I don't really use Medium. I used to cross post, but I don't. The same thing with Tumblr. I used to cross post, but I don't. My Storyzine web, like every property that you have a URL for that you own, you need to set this up so that way if you ever needed to do advertising or anything else, you would know what keywords to use because it's the same keywords that people use to find you in the first place. You need to connect the Google. Okay, so now let me configure this. This is literally the easiest that this has ever taken, because usually I have to do a lot more hoops. They must have improved this, which is, I think, amazing because I never have to leave my WordPress site, which is great. Before I used to have to click back and forth, copy this link, copy this thing, paste it here, go back and forth. Okay, congrats on completing the setup for analytics. Done. So now it's gathering data. Obviously, there's no data to gather right now because I literally just created this site. No one knows it exists. Eventually, they will because I will link this site into the Beyond the Wizard Substack to say that I have a beyondthewizard.com URL. So there's nothing here to gather. And it usually takes about 90 days for it to really be as accurate as possible, which is why you want to set this up concurrently or alongside, or like literally the same day that you set up the website. You want to set up your Google Analytics because it could take 3 months of data for it to be as accurate as possible. So if you wait, there's going to be all of that time that it's not going to be able to gather that data because you didn't have it searching and collecting. So everything is gathering data right now, so you can figure. So it's going to tell you traffic, where these people came from, if they used a website, if they used a phone, if they used a phone, what kind of phone did they use. I mean, it's going to tell you if your website was slow when they loaded it, depending on if they loaded it on their phone or their website. Oh, I just added the plugin. Like, you go to the plugins, and you search for, I think it's called Sitekit by Google. So you just, you add a new, like, that's the first thing I do when I create a website is add all the plugins I need. So that way I don't have to like set it up later. I set everything up right away. I don't want to have to set up anything after the fact. So, you know, you just search for SiteKit by Google and it's right here. So I just, you know, installed it and then I activated it and then it connects me because I have a Google URL. You need to have a Gmail account. If you don't have a Gmail account, you need to get one of those too. And then it's done. So I think that's the only thing I have to really set up. Oh, I have to do the super cache. Let's turn caching on. Okay, so caching is done. I don't want that. Let's see if there's anything else I have to do. So I'm basically just setting everything up so that eventually there's nothing up here at the top. It's usually where it tells me like there's something I haven't done yet, so I need to do this thing in order for my website to work. And I've done everything except launch my site, which I'm not going to launch it until I have everything I need. But I'm looking, it's showing me too many things here, so let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this and this. So at a glance, I can quickly see like the visitors map, where they came from. You know, there's a lot of things you can just see right off the jump. But again, because I just created this, I don't need Quick Draft. I never use Quick Draft. Like never, ever, 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 ever. I'm gonna put site health over here. I don't think I need Jetpack stats and quick stats, so let's get rid of the Jetpack stats. I don't need two things telling me the same information. Okay, so that should do it. I always use WordPress to create my websites, by the way. I don't use, there's a myriad of other things as programs you can use. I'm not interested. So let me uncheck and delete. Okay, I could delete this too. Okay. Now, to get back to what I was doing originally, which is I want to create the Oz Gazette. I'm going to do it in two places. What am I doing? Okay. Let's start with it's a monthly. How often does this one go out? I think it's weekly. Yeah, it's definitely weekly. I'm not gonna do weekly. Weekly is too much. I don't have that kind of time. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take pills. Okay. I'm a little behind. I took my pills. Okay, pills taken. What the frig? Now, what do I want to do? Okay. I need to create. Do I want a new section or a new page? I didn't even know I had that on. that's new. It's building it. No, it should not be here. Okay, is it? How do I get rid of this from here? Why is this here? I don't want it there. Is it a section? It is. Okay, so let's hide this tab. Okay, so now if I come here, excellent. The books. Okay, I'm getting there to what I want this to look like. Oh, it's just gonna take some time. Okay. Now that I've got that, I need to create a banner. Like a newspaper banner, and I think I did it before. Oh, we will find out. Because it's here. Hold on. I'm going into the wrong place. I've got so many things open here. Let's close some things. There's too many things open. So if I go here, yep. So this, I want to recreate this kind of banner, but for the Oz Gazette. So it's just going to be Oz Gazette. But this is the banner that I created for my monthly newsletter that goes out. I haven't done one since November 1st. I need to do one for February 1st. And hopefully I already have that banner somewhere. Oh, I don't. I need to create them. I've only done it for the 2022 year. I haven't even, that's how far behind I am on things. I didn't even create it for 2023. And if memory serves, I did not do it in Canva. I actually did it in Photoshop. We are about to test just how good this computer really is, because I'm about to open Photoshop. So hopefully my computer will not crash like it used to, because this is a brand new computer. So everybody hold, take a deep breath, because we are about to open up Photoshop. This will really test just how good my new computer really is. Okay, let's. Oh, this is really new. Okay, wait, I'm gonna have to try to find it now. Oh no. Oh wait, okay. I found it. It's been in the cloud. Okay. Let's add a new window to share. Whoops. Okay. Boom. How's that? So this is where I created the banners. I'm actually about to create the banner for the new year, or the banners. So the way that I do this is very simple. So now we've got February. I'm sure there's a faster way to do this, but March. And then what I'll end up doing is just exporting each image, checking and unchecking as I go, and then that way I'll have the whole year for 2023 as I do each post. Oop. Thanks for stopping by. I'm just going to keep working here. Same to you. I'll be back next week for another exciting edition of Write That Story. Okay, so now I got the whole year. Oh, is this actually tracking the mouse? Okay, wait. I hate when it does that, so let's take that off. I find that very distracting. And I am going to put this right in the proper folder. Oh, I needed to do the oops. I didn't change the name. So this is 3, 1, 23. I'll fix the other one later. So far, so good. My computer's holding out. I don't see any issues. Oh, I don't know what you guys are doing, but you need to cut it out. Okay, so now that I've done that, I want to duplicate this entire thing, okay, and I'm going to turn this one off and name this one Beyond the Wizard. Oh no, not even Oz Gazette. Like that. I will delete all the previous years because I'm only working on this year. And then I'm going to change all the stuff on the inside. So this will get changed to Oz Gazette. I wonder if I should put the Oz Gazette. Let's see what that looks like. Because, like, Rocky, what are you doing? There's nothing here for you to eat. Do I want to do Roman numerals or like numerals? Because I know whatever wait, is that the number one? I don't like that. And also, can I get the background layer so that way I can see this clear? Here we go. Okay. I'm not sure I like that. Wow, it is really snowing outside. Yikes. The book? What book? Yeah, these are really... I think I want to put this on the right hand side. And then put this on the left hand side. That's just me being picky. Like that. Another way of doing it, because I'm looking at how the New York Times does it, and I'm thinking I might actually like how their banner looks the best. It would take a bit of finagling, but let's try it. What are the measurements of this banner? It would also eliminate the need for me to do this, I think. No, I need a really clear... Oh, come on. Give me a really clear look at the banner. I feel like this is the clearest look, even though it's not showing me the right side. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is the best one. Let me save this image so I can close this page out of my way. Okay, sweet. So let's go by oh no. Where is this? You know what? I'll worry about the line thickness. I really need to get me a trackpad. gonna make this slightly. Okay. Actually, no. for the rest of it. You're so close. Next is I gotta do a box. I'm going to fill it with nothing. Give it a black stroke. That's going to be, let's start with 5. And let's put it here. Shall we? Five is too thick. Let's try 3, which is the same as everything else, I think. Might still be too thick. 2. 2 looks good. 2 looks good. And let's lock it in place. So that it doesn't move. Let's lock this in place because I'm about to start writing. Can we duplicate this and then grab it and move it up here for me? Whoa. I'm still gonna, I don't want to put all the news that's fit to print, so I'm still working on what to put. Let's do auto for that. This font unfortunately is way too big. And I think I might want to do this. it to be something clever like all the news and just the news and nothing more. Something like that. Just the news. And nothing more. Or just the truth and nothing more. Well, no, just the news and nothing more. I like that. Now, what I'm thinking is, now what the New York Times does is they put a little snippet of the weather. But I don't want to put a snippet of the weather. I'm thinking I would put like a PSA or like something that they need to know right up front. I also feel like the gaps here are really like I just want to bring these a lot closer together. Like that. You can still tell that it's three words, right? The Osgood. That I don't think I need to have them that far apart from each other. Oops. This is really coming out really well, like better than I anticipated. And now last, but certainly not least, I'm going to take this and duplicate it again. Every time I duplicate it, it like jumps this thing around. I'm going to put it up here, center it, I am going to now semi-bold or bold. I just want to see, make sure my eyes aren't deceiving me here. Banner is like 1,500. What did I do? Their banner is 1,500 by at least 200. Where is my, okay, hold on. I'll move some things up because okay, so now let's come here. Let's put this back to where it was so that we can take this one and move it up considerably like that, and then we're going to come back here and do like that, and then we're going to come here and do this and this. Okay, and then I can go back to freezing that. Actually, no, unfreeze this real quick, grab all this and center it. Like so, and then I'm going to now freeze this. I'm going to take this I'm going to move this over slightly, like that much. that's good enough. Let's see how that stacks up when I center it. I'll put this back to 0. Okay. Why won't it let me justify this? Why is it not letting me justify this? Okay, how are we looking? Oh, that's the wrong. I think we've got something. Took a while, but I think I got it. Now I want to see what it looks like on its own. Let's put it in the right spot so I can find it easily. Obviously, I'll have to do a new one for each number, but I just want to see what this looks like for right now. Oh, that took a lot. Okay, so now let's open up this one. Let's see how this works. Is it? I know I'm gonna have to reshape the window and stuff. Yeah, this is not gonna. Yeah, this is not. I need a better thingy. Oh, I didn't mean to do live preview. Sorry. let's worry about the blog later. We're gonna do eyes. We gotta go green. Oh my god, this snow is crazy. Okay, so I am going to end stream here 15 minutes early just so I can get myself ready to go downstairs in about 15 minutes and have lunch, etc., etc. But loving the way this is looking. The banner looks amazing. So what I'm visualizing is that beyondthewizard.com would take you here, and then below this will be a link to each edition. So what I'll do is I'll change something. So instead of it saying volume 1 number 1 on the left, I'll probably have it say something else. I'll remove the date because this is just going to be like a generic banner versus the actual banners within each issue, and each issue will link back to here. I think I'm still debating on whether or not I'm going to put the Oz Gazette issues in the Substack or put it on the website itself and then link people back here. But I do want to have it be very community oriented, so there will be this buddy press. I'm going to have to set that up at some point. So I'm going to have to come here and set up the profiles and things so people can actually set up their own profile if they want. That will take some time for me to do it. I'll probably do it off stream because it might have some sensitive information there that I don't want shown on stream. But for right now, it'll still show coming soon for anybody else who comes to the page, but this is what I'm seeing for myself right now, and I really like it. I think this is going to be awesome. I'm going to continue reading. So this Saturday coming up in like 3 days, we'll be reading chapter 3, which is right here. A little less than chapter 2. Chapter 2 so far was the longest chapter. But then once we get down here, the chapters are going to be, for word length, considerably longer. This was fun. I'm glad that I have this weekly thing for 3 hours. I get to work on writing and work on thinking about this and getting things set up. So this feels really good. I feel like I accomplished a lot, which is what I wanted. So I will be back in a week and we'll see what I have done off stream since then.